it had been a great year. 2020 was just out of control. With COVID and whatnot, it's still a phenomenal year. And I worked from home here and there. I saw my family a little more than I would usually, but I didn't actually see them. So at the end of the year, I guess it was probably towards August, September, when we started talking about making a hire. I just realized there was no way I wanted to ever go through that kind of year again, and it was only half over. So there was a lot of thoughts that went through my mind. How are we going to do this? How are we going to find, the right person, the empire builder? Sure, thinking about a salary, etc. That was definitely scary. It was just, there was a lot of thoughts going through my mind. I'd never done it before. I'd always been a solo practitioner, run and gun. And you and I and Steve had a lot of lengthy conversations about how this works, about what I have to look forward to. And at the end of the day, I just decided to just jump and trust you. And thank God I did.
So take us through, once you got into the hiring process, right? It wasn't a perfect process for you. It went a little bit longer than we like it to go. But walk us through, the process and how you felt about it. Obviously, do you think you would have had the time that you needed to screen the amount of people and look at resumes and all those things? Walk us through that.
It's a great question. So I actually took career visioning the year before, purposely because I knew that I wanted to hire at some point. I wasn't sure when that was going to happen, but I wanted to be adequately prepared for when it did. So I flew out to Scottsdale and I took career visioning with Karina Loken, who is an amazing instructor, and it was a great class. I still felt that I couldn't adequately run that process myself. So again, when I came to meet you and Steve and Ciprani and realized that you could actually run the entire process for me, and just really allow me to sort of just sit back and enjoy the process, really, just be able to just figure out who this next person's going to be and what that would look like, but know that I had a team in control of the entire process the entire time, where it wasn't about me. It was about looking for the right person.
I love that. Let me ask you this. Obviously, you went into our training and consulting program. Do you feel like that was a win? And did you feel like you saw your new boss investing in you and investing in your career? Did you feel like it helped you?
100%. One of the reasons that I actually decided to step away from my previous life was there was no advancement. There was nothing, there was advancement, but not at the rate that I was looking for. So when I came in and he told me there was a whole training program behind and they were going to set me up for success, the light bulbs that went off in my head were every day something new was going off, because I was so excited to have kind of a structured system of how to replicate it and make it work for us. And that's what we've done. We've taken all the tools that you guys have given us. Some worked right away. Some were like, oh wait, I learned about this a year ago. Let's try and implement it now. We're at a point now where we can, and we can make it great. So to have those tools and building blocks is instrumental. I'll tell anybody, and I do in the office, I don't think we'd be where we are as a team if I didn't have that as my stepping stones. And that is the backbone for my learning.
Michelle just has this innate ability to just figure out exactly, okay, the heart of the matter, what do I got to do? Take it, run with it, complete it, and not just get it done, but just figure out how to make it even better than ever possibly imagined. There's so many things that we accomplished together last year. You can't see it in this in the Zoom call, but we did our branding, and we just did so many things. We reconnected with clients, all these things that I just never had a chance to do. I have a phenomenal database. I've never touched the database until last year. Occasionally I'd reach out to clients or they'd reach out to me. I got lucky, but Michelle just really dug in and figured out exactly how to tweak everything that needed it and make it that much better. I do want to say one thing real quick though, just to back up for a second. Not only do we, there's no way we would have achieved the level of success without Ciprani's training. When it came time, when we hired Stephanie, we actually specifically requested Ryan. They're all great, but we worked with Ryan last time and we were like, we really want to work with Ryan again. And you guys made it happen. So thank you. We really appreciate that.
trust the process. I think that's the biggest thing I can say. I know that's like the quintessential Philly term of trusting the process, but it's 100%. Don't have any preconceived notions about what real estate looks like from a marketing perspective or an operations perspective, because you really can mold it to how it fits the business. And that's the biggest thing, is just take a leap of faith, trust that your training previous can apply to something new, because that's where I stumbled. I was like, I'm only an admin, like I've only done administrative stuff. How is that going to transfer into real estate? Guess what? All of my spreadsheet experience, it comes in. All of my customer service and answering phones and dealing with both positive and difficult clients, it comes in. So just know that what you've built upon for years before can apply to real estate. And when you've got Ciprani as your helper, you've got success written all over it.
And something else I wanted to add too, by the way, even as an agent, even if I did have time to train Michelle, or even if agents did have time to train an admin, there's so many things that we don't know, that we don't do. It's not just a question of saying, okay, well, here's how I do this, here's how I do this. There's a whole other world that, as agents focused on the, what we do is, in the real estate world, that we just don't know about the rest of it. So again, hand that portion over to someone that can adequately and fully, completely train without having to do it ourselves, and learn a lot in the process. There's so much that I've learned through working with Michelle about my own business because of Ciprani. I can't even begin to